Hey guys, my name's Christina, and today I wanted to do a little bit of an unscripted video talking about Substance 3D Modeler, specifically VR mode, and how I use that software in my own workflow. So this video is not sponsored at all. I've been wanting to do one of these videos for a while, just kind of sitting down and talking about how I use the software, because I think it's a very versatile software. You can use it in like a lot of different ways in the modeler community. I see people using it for all sorts of stuff. And I think it's still kind of a niche software. Not a lot of people know about it or really talk about it. So I wanted to come at it from the perspective of being an illustrator, more specifically a book cover artist. Because I've been using 3D in my workflow for years, and it wasn't until I started using Substance 3D Modeler that it kind of changed my workflow quite a bit. And it's also introduced a lot of fun into my workflow. From starting a project to finishing a project, it is like by far the most fun part of it. So I wanted to kind of just gush a little bit, just talk about it. I don't see any videos like this, and I'm just like, it's such a powerful tool, and I just want everyone to use it. So here you go. Right, so how did it change my workflow? Like, how did I start getting into it? A lot of you guys know that since I do 2D illustration, and I also have aphantasia, which is the inability to kind of imagine stuff in your mind's eye. So a lot of people can like picture characters, scenes, whatever. Like it's always like to a varying degree. But for me, when I try to do that, I can't see anything. So I kind of stumbled my way into 3D like years ago because I was like, this is the way that I can kind of bridge that gap. Because back then I didn't understand that I had aphantasia. I just thought like people just happened to be super talented and creative and just like able to conjure up these images and put them down. But I thought everyone kind of saw what I saw, or rather didn't see. But then obviously I found out about aphantasia and I was like, oh my God, that just makes so much more sense. So I started looking into 3D because I was like, if I'm working with 3D forms, it's a lot easier for me to kind of get these ideas down, because I used to struggle with just sketching and just putting ideas down because I had to have something in front of me that I could build off of. And if I didn't have anything, I was lost. But with 3D, you have something physical in front of you that you can kind of shape and mold until it looks right. And I kind of started creating these like intricate scenes in Unreal Engine 5. And I was like, finally, I've found a workflow that kind of bridges that gap, that kind of really helps me like actually create high quality products. And it also speeds up my workflows in a lot of ways. It gives me a lot of information on like lighting, form, texture, and so on. So a lot of the guesswork, my brain was like in overdrive mode constantly when I was only using 2D, like trying to figure out these scenes. Anyway, I won't get like too deep into that. But when I discovered that there's a VR sculpting software, and I've been obsessed with VR for like a very long time. Even when I was a kid, I used to put a blanket over the TV, you know, those thick ass big TVs. I used to put a blanket over, just imagining that I was like in the games that I was playing, because I wanted to be immersed so badly. So when I got into VR, it was mostly like to play games and to kind of just experience, like be more immersed, because that's just like, it feels so magical to me. And then Substance 3D Modeler came out, or was coming out, and it really piqued my interest. Because I had tried to get into sculpting before, because I was like, this seems like the ideal way for me to create. But there was something about flat screen sculpting that just didn't click with me. I wanted to kind of take my hands and just grab the form and like shape it. And I was like, if only I could do that. So when I saw that you could do that in VR and you had these two controllers, I was just like, oh my God, I have to try this. And I did. I was part of the beta. I tried to get into the beta like early on, and they just never accepted me. And I was like, please. But when the official kind of beta came out, I tried it, and it just instantly clicked with me, and I was just like, I am obsessed. I just really want to do this like all the time, because first of all, like it just made sense to me. I was like, this is how sculpting should have always been. You should just kind of be immersed in the space and be able to just use your hands to kind of mold the clay and chip away and add clay. It made a lot more sense to me. And I was like, why do people actually do flat screen sculpting? It just doesn't make sense. And I was so happy that like technology was like catching up, so we could get a more authentic, realistic experience creating 3D. And I think one of the things that just really clicked with me was just how fast and intuitive it was. I'm just going to give an example of this character who I had to create an outfit for as a base for like a 3D scene that I was going to render in Unreal Engine 5 later on. And I honestly sculpted this in like 1.5 hours. It was so fast. It was so relaxed. And I just imagine like if I were to try to do this in like flat screen sculpting, it would just take me such a long time. But this was just so fast to like block out. And same goes for this scene. I'll show you the end illustration. And this looks super intricate, right? If you were to see the modeler scene, it still kind of looks intricate, but like, how would you do this with like traditional flat screen sculpting? It would be so hard to create. Whereas like all I needed to do, and I really wish I'd filmed this, but all I really needed to do was to kind of create a little bit of a scatter brush. And first I just blocked out the spiral. So just kind of smearing clay in like a spiral form. And then I took this scatter brush and I kind of used that as an eraser, and I was just kind of erasing things where I wanted it to kind of dissolve. And it was so fast to do. And I'm just like, this just would not have been possible with flat screen sculpting. I mean, sure, you can probably find a way, but it would be really hard, right? So this is like why I'm trying to kind of spread more awareness about Modeler, I guess, and kind of talk about my experiences, because I honestly love it. Like it's really fun and it's easy to get into. It's fast. And the thing is, like, VR is still a very niche thing, even though it's becoming a lot more popular. But working in VR, I think, is still like people just still kind of see that as a gimmick, and they don't really understand how that would work, or whatever you create in Substance 3D Modeler is just not like a production ready thing. And trust me, it is. In our Discord and this private Slack that I'm a part of, like, the things people create is insane, and I'm just like, wow, it is mind-blowing. So okay, I've gushed long enough and I've kind of given you a little idea of like how I feel about Substance 3D Modeler. I wanted to kind of show more examples of how I've used it. Okay, so I'm just going to blast through some examples of some sculpts I've done in Modeler. So quite recently I completed a character sculpt, well, his clothing and staff more like, which was meant to be rigged and posed in Blender. This was a very enjoyable project to work on. I really had a lot of fun doing this one. In a similar vein, here is the Pigman sculpt, which I created for another PolyCosm video. I've shown you some bits and pieces throughout the video, but here is the final sculpt. I also sculpted two characters who are trying to get their prosthetic arm back from Mr. Pigman. Here's another futuristic outfit for a book cover character that I did. Very silly, but also very fun. Another futuristic outfit for an album cover character this time. I don't get to do album covers very often, but I got to work with the burrows, if any of you guys are familiar. Along with the character, I sculpted a little retro sci-fi spaceship, although I had to get a bit of help from Blender to get those shapes really clean and precise. And here are the two retro sci-fi props that I created, a microphone and a communication device of sorts. These were so much fun to create, some of my absolute favorite sculpts that I've done. And speaking of sci-fi, here's a little weird alien creature ship with weird little tentacles coming out of it. You guys have already seen this scene in particular, but this was the sculpt for that abandoned library I showed earlier. The entire environment and the table was sculpted from scratch. These type of large-scale environments are my absolute favorite to do. It really feels like you're in that space when you're in VR. It's so cool. And this one should also seem familiar. I've already shown bits and pieces, but here's the better overview. This frame is actually here because back then Modeler didn't have cameras, so I had to set up an artificial frame in order to plan out my composition. Those were dark days. Thank God we have cameras now. Sometimes I only need a few parts of the clothing to be sculpted, like the ruffles on this woman's outfit or some details on the gloves. Stuff like this can always be done in Blender, but I just prefer jumping into Modeler as it's usually a lot faster and also just a lot more fun. So for this one, a friend of mine asked me to do a Red Dead Redemption inspired painting for him. So this is a roughly sculpted outfit, which I later took into Substance Painter. Well, at least half of the outfit. And here is the recreation of the saloon in Valentine. So this recreation wasn't easy to do, but really helped speed up the process of the paint-over later on. This is a good example of when I use Modeler as a way to plan out a composition. I mean, just look at these blobby people. I just wanted to kind of scribble some notes for where I wanted characters to be standing and kind of rough poses, and then kind of plan out my composition that way. And here's a little mechanical robot dude that I also had to pose in a lot of different ways later on. So I really actually enjoy planning out compositions with Modeler. It's just really fun kind of jumping into the scene and imagining that like you're the camera and you're kind of trying to figure out like how can I frame this scene. Another one with blobby people and creatures. This one was primarily focused on just the environment. I find these abandoned environments to be a lot easier to construct in Modeler, just because it's a lot easier to add destruction with your controllers. You kind of just chip away bits and pieces here and there. It is super easy and super fast, and a lot of these environments only usually take like a few hours to put together. So this will be my last examples, and I'm sure some of you guys will recognize this. So Omercan and I worked with Adobe on a few tutorials, and these are the village houses that we concepted and kind of came up with together. We have a link to those videos in our Adobe X PolyCosm collaboration videos playlist, so you can go check those out if you want to. Those videos actually detail the process of exporting the sculpts from Modeler, bringing them into Blender for UV remeshing and UV unwrapping, exporting for texturing in Substance Painter, and then posing the models in Unreal Engine 5. I highly recommend the series if you're trying to kind of figure out what a pipeline using Modeler can look like. So I would advise anyone with a VR headset right now and a PC, because the Mac version isn't out yet, but I think it's going to be out this year, I believe. But I would advise anyone with a VR headset to head into the Modeler Discord, and in the announcements tab there will be a link to the public beta so you can try it out for free with experimental features. I mean, you have nothing to lose, right? It's free. But yeah, that's my take on how I use Substance 3D Modeler and how useful it has been in my workflow specifically, and also just like how fun it has made actually creating things, because sometimes creative work can be really frustrating and can be very not fun, especially when you're trying to learn and so on. But I've found like Substance 3D Modeler to just kind of be one of those softwares where you can pick it up really easily, and it is by far the best way to sculpt, and it's also just really fun. Even if you're like really shit at it, it's just so fun. You can create a whole world around you and feel like you're physically in that space. Or you can create characters that are like standing right in front of you, and you can get such a good sense of scale. It's a lot easier to kind of tell the forms when things are right, when they feel off, because it just feels real, right? It feels like they're right in front of you. And now that there are camera options as well, it's really easy to like plan out a composition. That used to be my biggest gripe when I started out, because I was like hounding on them for years, just like, please give us cameras. And they finally did. So yeah, cameras, super helpful. You can also add lighting now, which is really, really great. Honestly, the software has come really far, and there are constantly new updates, constantly new tools and experimental things going on. It's just a really fun space to kind of be a part of and kind of help contribute by giving feedback, by telling them what kind of features you'd like to see. So please guys, if you do try it and you like it, join us on Discord. There's always a lot of healthy, fun discussions on there Thanks so much for watching and listening to me rant and gush for ages. I have a few videos where I have filmed sculpting either character or environments and stuff like that, and I want to release them eventually. So just let me know like what you guys think, if you want to see that kind of stuff. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.